Let's see if we've got this a little bit better. Okay, let's check that out. So EMR, let me know if that's live. We should be actually live now. For some reason, chat's here, but no video. Okay, let's check and see if that video is there. It should be. I think what happened was I forgot to click on the auto start. So when I clicked on the button, it didn't auto start. But we should be there. So EMR, let me know if that is working. I'm showing the video on this side, so we should be seeing the video. We should be up and running on both sides. So let me know. If not, then we'll just I'll just end it. You can come over to the other side. That did it. Okay, outstanding. Yeah, I probably just forgot to turn on the auto start on that particular side. Again, this is something new that I'm doing. Hey, what's going on, David Carlisle? Thanks for being in here. I appreciate you. So we are going to try this again. There'll be little hiccups. I'm fine with doing that. I don't mind technical issues when I'm trying something new. I just can't stand technical issues when I have stuff set up and it doesn't work for me. All right. Well, you know what we're going to do? I am going to click over and I'm going to say, hey, Brown Sugar, how you doing? So I'm going to click over and I'm going to say hi because we have some people in the house, and you know these two. They're in here very frequently. And I'd like to say hi to both Eric and Paula. Good morning, you two. How are you? Happy Easter. Uh, they have risen if they are watching chat. Oh, yes. What are your plans for today? I know you got the grandbabies and everything else. You guys got some fun plans? Oh, no. That's no good. Oh, no. That is a terrible day. Hey, Flying Dutchman, what's going on?
Wasn't gonna do it. Yeah, I didn't do it. Nope.
Yeah, this isn't much. This is like RPM 29 double die number 8 for 46S. And I bought it at the fun show 2 years ago. And man, I got it from Brian Rains, and
Of course you did.
he didn't want to get rid of it. He's like, every time you buy something from him, he's like, well, I'm not sure I want to get rid of it. It's like, dude, you got 10,000 coins sitting here in your box. You
That's
don't
how he
want to get
gets
rid of
away
any
with
of them.
not lowering his prices.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And that's what he goes, well, how much will you give me? And I told him, and he's like, well, let me think about it for a few. I said, all right, well, I'll come back. When I come back, he says, okay, I need lunch anyways. So
Yeah.
obviously he wanted money for lunch.
Yeah.
But I still think I paid him $40 for it.
Was he actually at his table, or did you have to search
No,
him down on the
he was
floor?
at his table.
He didn't have his famous "I'm on the floor, here's my number,
Yeah,
text
he's
me."
on the floor getting stuff that he can add to the pile that he doesn't want to sell.
Exactly.
He's a great guy though, and he really knows his varieties.
Yes. Mhm. Sorry, Frostbite, this is your show, go.
It's when you two are here, this is just what happens. I'm used
The
to this.
banter. Good
It's
morning,
all
everyone.
good. No, it's all good. No worries. One thing I do want to do, again, everybody does our pleasantries and says hi. I'm going to be going over. You've probably seen that flash up. Do you see that on the screen? Um, so you guys in channel and the StreamYard side will not see this. Because I don't think there's a way for me to share that. Actually,
I'm actually watching the YouTube side.
I know, I probably should switch over to the YouTube side because I can't see anything on StreamYard.
yeah. So what I'm going to do is nickel stacking asked me to do a little review on military currency. Now, I'll be very clear. We have people in the community who are really, really good when it comes to currency. I am not one of them. But I will always do due diligence and try to find out as much as I can regarding military currency. or a coin or whatever it might be. But I'll give you some of the basics, and then if you want to know more, you want a more in-depth understanding, or you want very specific answers to your questions, I'll always refer you to the people who we consider the experts or the more knowledgeable of the group. And that's going to be, most likely it's going to be sending you to Lifeguard Q&A. If you're talking about sense, obviously I'm going to be sending you to Eric and Chuck. But for this particular one, there's a couple people that I have in mind. So if you want more than what I'm going to give you, then let me know and we'll make. So military currency, kind of looking at the start of military currency was around World War. And one of the primary issues with doing the military currency uh, came from not necessarily necessity, but it came out of protection of the U.S. economy and our currency. Because see, what would happen is we would send people overseas and they would buy utilizing the dollar in the local economies. And sometimes the local economies would be crap. And so they just wouldn't be very good. And so what we would have to do is we would have to identify and try to locate um, monies later on. And if not, then because the conversion rate from the local economy to our money, if the economy was bad, would end up with basically all this worthless money because they would want to keep our money because it was more valuable. And then what they would do is in turn they would exchange it for their money and end up making more and more and more. And so the US government decided we're not going to do that. We're going to stop doing that. And so they started creating what they call scripts. Now, scripts are something that if you've ever watched the TV show MASH, you've heard them talk about military scripts. And essentially, all a military script is paper money utilized for temporary use. Now, this wasn't a permanent thing. Again, they only ran from 1946 to 1973, thereabouts. And again, it was just one of those things that was designed to make sure that you didn't have a lot of US money, a lot of US currency staying in those foreign countries. One of the secondary benefits of this was if there was ever something wrong in that country and we needed to get out of there quick, maybe they were taking over, talking about Korea during the Korean War, things of that nature, they could quickly stop those um, military payment certificates, that MPC, and basically demonetize it. So there's some really cool things regarding this. Now, one thing that you used to see in MASH that always made me laugh because it's actually not true, was that they would do gambling, right? And then they would roll the die and do stuff like that, and they would get the money and stuff like that, and then they would go cash it in. They couldn't do that. So actually what the federal government did is they implemented something that you could not change in. You could not cash in more than you made. And so what they did is they implemented something around the 1950s, 1960s Vietnam time frame. I think it was no 19 I think late 1960s, like the start of the Vietnam era, because what people were doing is their buddies would get shot. They would take their money, they would bundle it up and send it home, have their parents trade it in. And they said, no, we're not going to do this anymore. Um, because they were, people were trying to change in two, three, four times their income. And they were concerned about there being nefarious acts occurring so that people could get other people's money. So they stopped doing that. Just a cool little tidbit. I thought it was a lot of fun. Now on the screen, you're seeing a couple different things. So if you see my mouse, you'll see that I'm showing one here. And if you look right down here, you'll see something that says Series 481. Or if you come over here and you look at this particular one here, you may see 461. Or you come down here and you'll see Series 701 or Series 681. Each series was ran for a certain time frame. And some of these were done depending upon where they were utilized and what was going on during that time frame. For instance, the 461, the one up here that you see just in the upper corner of the screen, that was the very first note that was issued. And that was actually issued in 1946. This was issued during World War II. And you would find these things in the EU countries. You would find these things in like Austria, Belgium, England, France, Germany, Greece, Hungary. And this is where you'd find these bills. Now you could find them in some Asia Pacific areas like the Philippines, but you would only find them in like maybe in Hawaii, but most likely in those areas where we were just now setting up areas of protection in and around, Midway and the Philippines and things of that nature. Also 471, you see the 471 in here somewhere. Maybe I think this is the 471. I can't remember which one. That was also utilized this, and these were utilized between 1948, 1951. And then you would see different series. This one right here, the one that's the red one, you kind of see this. You might not see this on the portrait mode. You'll only see this on the other side. Again, if you guys haven't already done so, hit that thumbs up. If you're brand new to the channel, this is something that's interesting to you. Make sure you're subscribing. Um, Here on the lower side, if you see this one right here, you'll see that this is 481. So series 481. Again, we're looking at the same thing. This is European note or European script. And this one was between 1951 and 1954. So as you look through some of the different ones, the 681 over here, this was one of those that was done primarily in Vietnam. So you see the one over here with the little gentleman. Looks like he's holding something. This was a Vietnamese note specifically to Vietnam. It wasn't located anywhere else, located specifically in that area. Now, in the description of this video, I have included the link. So if you're interested in looking at this particular thing, this article that I'm looking at, this article that I'm referencing to you, came from the Bureau of Engraving and Printing. And for those of you that don't know, you have coins that happen at the mint, and then you have the Bureau of Engraving and Printing that does the currency. So this article that talks about the history and where they were at and how they were designed, the denominations of things like the 5 cent, 10, 25, 50, $1, $5, $10, and $20 notes, right? So then they talked about the numbers and where they were done and how they were taken care of. Again, if you want to find out more about this, reach out to me, let me know. You can go to the About Me of my page, find my email, send me an email, ask me any questions that you want to, and we can make sure we get that to you. All right, I told you it was going to be pretty quick because, again, I am not the person in charge when it comes to these kind of things. You do not want me doing discussing more than that. So, but yeah, it's thanks, Paul. I appreciate you throwing that in there. But it's a great article. It's a great read if you want to find out more about that. Yeah, actually, on Big Flip's channel yesterday, Big Flip sold a binder. Unfortunately, I didn't see it. I'd have been all over it. Sold a binder full of military scripts. Quite a cool item. Unfortunately, like I said, I didn't get to see it. But when you flipped it through, it was page after page after page after page after page from Korea and Vietnam and Cambodia and Laos and all of that stuff. Hey, what's going on, me? Good to see you, bud. I know you were in the vert side. If you want to be over in the other side, you can go ahead and click on that link there pinned in chat. Again, if you're new to the channel, please do me a favor, hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe, and we can do that. All right, folks. Do you guys have anything you guys want to talk about today? You guys have any
That article I
news?
put up was from the ANA. It was just a presentation done about military payment certificates, and it's really interesting.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not into currency, but of course, when something pops up that somebody's going to talk about, I need to read a little bit about it. So
Yeah.
I don't sound completely stupid, but yeah, it was really interesting, the history about them. So,
Hey, what's going on, Mickey Fur? How you doing, bud? Good to see you. I normally see him in Copper Coins.
Yep.
Like, I know that name.
Copper Coins. Ken was talking about Chuck yesterday.
Oh, good.
He
Well,
finds favor in him.
He does. Every time
Him and
Chuck's
Brian,
on here,
yeah.
they seem to call and talk to each other. So
Oh my gosh, it's yeah. Listen, if you ever have something to do, and he calls you, don't answer the phone.
Yeah,
I
I've
took
heard
him
that.
shopping with me yesterday. We were at the baseball field.
Yeah. All my real conversations with him have been like via Messenger and stuff like that.
I love him
Except
to
for
death.
one,
So
and that
funny.
was when he donated stuff for the hurricane relief.
Oh, nice.
So
Nice. Yeah, he's a great guy. He can talk. You guys think I talk a lot?
yeah, me too.
Oh, no, you
Um,
definitely yeah, he's definitely a talker, that's true. Hey, what's
but
going on, Kevin? How you doing, bud?
I'm seriously considering about becoming a state rep for Conecuh.
I murder,
Well,
thank you for the sub, I appreciate you, thank you very much.
Considering that.
does Washington have one? Or
Oregon.
Oregon?
We do, but he said that several of the states have several, and
Yeah.
that
Well, Florida's
this
got like
rep
15.
this rep is not real active, like at the shows and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So that would be fun. Would be
Yeah,
a
it
lot of
seems like they're
fun.
making a little bit of a comeback. They were having issues for a while, and
They need to make a comeback. That's the whole deal.
Who's
yeah.
that?
If you guys are not members of Conecuh and
Oh,
you
yeah.
like errors and varieties,
Yeah, I
please
think it's like
consider
16
joining.
bucks, isn't it? It's not
Yeah,
expensive.
cheap. Please consider joining.
That's $60 annually, right?
No, I think it's let me see. I think it's like 16
Yeah,
Oh,
it's not
because you don't get
16,
a
I thought you
mail
expensive.
said 60.
magazine.
Like, 60
And
is pretty
you
pricey for
get
some people.
6 issues a year of error scope, which in itself is worth the money. I mean, it's
So if you guys don't know, so there are people that are on that don't know what Kaneka is.
I'm gonna throw him a link.
Yeah, Kaneka is one of these things that is, Paula, you probably can explain it than me. Just a massively good resource for looking at coins and issues, varieties, dates. It's a great resource. I mean, there's a lot of good resources out there.
Well, so
$25 a year.
if you've they're separate now, but if you've ever gone and utilized Variety Vista, you have utilized a lot of their work. Wiles is not with them anymore, but
Right.
for reasons.
Hey,
But
Mickey Fur just gave me a $1.99 super chat, but that is Mickey first super chat.
oh yay!
Thank you, Mickey. I appreciate you, bud. That's awesome. Thanks so much. I
They
do
yeah,
appreciate
they
that.
do. I think he said they have 4, Kevin. I think he said they have 4 reps in Michigan. But whenever whenever somebody sends us a coin that we think might be a new discovery, that's typically where we will send you to get it, if it's a variety attributed or an error, to get it examined to verify that it's authentic. And
Yeah, the issue that they're having right now is getting it done.
they are having a big issue getting it done because they just don't have the people with motivation to get it done.
Yeah, and it's tough. I mean,
It
that's why
is.
most of the variety attributions are all closed down is because people
Mhm.
don't understand. They think, "Oh, I sent 6 coins, that can't take long." 6 coins could take, you know, 3 days if it's properly investigated.
Yeah.
Uh, because you wanna do your best not to attribute things twice.
And get in line.
That's right.
I mean, they've got not only do they have the genuine stuff that they're looking at, but they get every parking lot coin you can imagine.
That's right. And I do like the
So
forum thing where there's people saying,
yes.
this is not good," or "We'll look into it," or "We'll" see, the last time I looked, I saw, "We'll send you an email when we have a spot for you to send it into."
Hmm.
And you look at some of the posts, and they've been there 6 months, and they're still waiting for to get their coin looked at. But I'm not I'm not judging them because I can tell you as somebody who attributes coins that it got out of hand here, and I don't want any more than 10 coins on my
And
desk.
Eric, you know as well as anybody that if that particular date and mint mark has a lot of varieties already,
Yes.
You've got to search through every single known variety to make sure it's not an already known variety.
That's right. And then you start doing overlays.
Or give
Then you,
them and tell them which one it is if it is one, you
right.
know?
Then,
Mhm.
like I said, then you're doing overlays. Then you're doing a whole lot, and it's a lot of physical work.
It is a lot of work. Yeah.
Uh,
For $7 or
for
$10 or
nothing.
whatever.
I haven't charged anybody a dime.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Uh, I probably should, but then you almost have to open up attributions, and then I'll be ears deep in packages,
Yep.
and that's what I don't want. Like I say, I tried to limit it to 1 or 2 packages, and when I'm done with that, I've already got people in line waiting to send me packages.
People that want the information, it's easy to find.
So
That's exactly right, Kevin. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. And I
Well,
mean,
this is
it is definitely a club that needs to stay around. So we need
but
to,
the membership has went up
they had
pretty
to.
substantially over the
yeah.
last 2 years.
They had to
Yeah.
because I mean, they're doing the same amount of work and not getting the memberships, you know?
Well,
Well,
I mean, I can say I rejoined. I was a member for years. Then I stopped because it really wasn't a benefit to me.
Right.
Uh, and then I asked a couple people through the years, should I rejoin? And the consensus was always no. But then about 3 years ago, I brought it up again, and they were like, "Yeah, probably. It's still this, but they're headed in the right direction."
They
So I
are.
rejoined. I actually just rejoined probably 6 months ago. So
Yeah, they are. And the database has taken them a long time, and
well, they had a bunch of stuff up, and now all of a sudden I can't find it. So I think they took it down.
they did take it down.
And I think that is because they're probably paying for bandwidth for their servers, and it costs a lot of money to have people travel through that.
The tracking number, however, I did misspell your last name on the package. That's okay, Kraken. Everybody either says my last name wrong or they spell it wrong. It's
all a
okay.
blump.
Blum, yeah, Blum, Blum.
Yeah, welcome to my world.
Hey, what's going on,
Or it's
Kraken? How you doing, bud? Good to see you, bud.
BLOOM.
My whole life, everybody pronounces my last name wrong.
Yeah, it's I
Thank you.
buy coins from Eric, so it is, but it looks like the aspirin. That's why I think people confuse it.
Well, and the weird thing is I'm distantly related. It's more of a phonetic thing than it is wrong or right. That's why I
Yeah,
never say anything when people call me Bear.
yeah, that
In
makes
the
sense.
late 1800s, when the families started immigrating to America, one took an E and one took an A.
Morning, Chris G. Yeah, there's
So,
but you are a giant teddy bear, so people don't know this. He's how tall are you? 6'5", 6'6"?
6'6", yeah.
Yep.
And I used to be mammothly huge. Now I'm just huge.
Mm.
And I used to be like 380 pounds. And now I'm only about 280 pounds.
Very cool. Well, for those of you that are here the first time, again, if you're looking on the StreamYard or if you're looking at the landscape mode and you want to see it in portrait mode, you can simply go to the chat. In chat, you'll see a pinned message. That pinned message will allow you to shift back and forth between. So if you're on a computer or you're watching this on an Apple TV and you're in that narrow mode, I know that's absolutely annoying to some people. So just go into the chat, click that link, and it will take you to the other mode. So you can go back and forth. You don't have to get out and then try to find the other one to come in. You can just simply navigate to that chat and come on that way. So you decide which one you want to be in, whatever works best for you. I'm trying to make sure that I provide you guys multiple views. I know some people like to look at it on their phones. Some people like to look at it on their other side. Right now, I don't
You
have a
know
lot
what?
of people in the vertical mode, but we
You
don't
know what
always see all
sucks
those people.
for the doing it. Of course, I'm gonna point out the bad of because that's how I am. Shame on me. People, so I don't get to see the people that are in the other stream. I don't get to see their chat. So I don't get to interact with
You
them, and that
do
stinks for me.
if you're in the Frosty's Chit Chat on YouTube page, You
Oh, the
will see the phone
StreamYard?
chat going through the side, and then you'll see the live chat on the other chat.
Say that one more time. On the StreamYard, you mean?
No, on the YouTube, I'm seeing different chat on Frosty's
Hey,
stream
Neil Han, how you
Right.
doing? Good to
than I
see
am
you.
on the actual live chat next to the stream. So
Oh,
I'm
you mean on
assuming
his
that I'm seeing
screen, on
phone
his
chat on
screen.
one.
I gotcha. Yeah, I wasn't watching the YouTube stream.
Yeah.
That's why. But I want to.
Outstanding.
Yeah, no, I gotcha.
Yeah, so there's some things about doing this, but again, it depends. It depends on what's going on. If there are general chit chat questions, then what I'm hoping for is that people put stuff in both sides, and we can go back and forth and ask questions.
Yeah.
If we're going to be talking about, so Kevin made the comment that utilizing people or utilizing that. There's some people that will do a little bit of work, but the research is easy to actually get down and dirty. Like we'll say those comments. We'll bring those things up if they're major key points. The general chit chats happen in their own. The world, the dynamic on each side of these streams has their own different style of chat. So what people might be putting in on the vertical side might be different than what people want to talk about on the horizontal side. So
Right.
I can try to blend them, but then the chat would be very difficult to do. So I want to try to keep them in their own environments. Again, make it conducive. Now, as a host or as a co-host, it's very difficult to manage. Um, so it's a little bit harder for the panel members to kind of see what's going on unless you have screen. This is why I said it's more work this way, but I'm doing it more for the end user. So whatever the end user works, because ultimately what I'm here for is to provide you guys the best service that I can. I don't care if it's a little bit more work for me. I don't care if it's a little bit more difficult. If it provides something that the end user's interested in, I'm doing it. And so because I want if you want to watch my channel, I want to make sure that I'm giving you what works for you, right? I want you to thumbs up. I want you to subscribe. I want you to be a part of that. If you're interested in membership or gifting memberships or doing stuff like that, I want you to feel like that's of value. So I want to provide you as many opportunities as I can to do that. If
Screen
that
chat.
means, say again.
Oh, I'm just sorry. I was reading underneath my breath Kevin's
Oh, I
comment.
got you. I think the screen chat is broken. We're only seeing the Nightbot notes. Um, Maybe. I don't know.
It was working before, and I was seeing different chat than I was seeing on my live chat. So I was just assuming that I was seeing cell phone chat on one side and
Yeah,
Oh,
so
I see what he's saying.
if we have anybody in the on the other side, put stuff in chat on so if you're in the vertical mode, put stuff in chat. Let's see if they can do that. A lot of people won't chat in the vertical mode because they just watch. YouTube doesn't make the chatting feature in the vertical
I
mode
didn't reach
really
either.
easy. So if you're on that side, you may not be seeing a lot of chats because there may not be a lot of chatting going on. But on the portrait side, which is where most of the subscribers and the viewers are, that's where more chat's going on. So if you're more interested in seeing the chat, it's probably going to be on that side. But if you're more just watching the content, kind of seeing what's going on, then yeah. So what you're seeing on the vertical side. Okay, yeah. So what I've got to do, and this is something that I've got to work on. The primary chat for this right now is the vertical side. So this is something that I need to work on. So this is thank you for pointing this out because I'll need to make sure that the chat that I'm utilizing is tied specifically to the landscape chat. Um, because you should be able to see if you're looking at the widescreen mode, you'll see what's here, but the stuff that you're seeing on screen is the stuff that's happening in the vertical mode, right? Which you're not going to see a lot of chat in that area. The other side is going to be where you actually see the chat, like if you're on a computer on your TV window on the side. That's the mode that you're going to see if you're actually chatting. So
I just saw David Carlisle's thing pop up.
Yeah.
yeah, because he's now in the vertical mode, and he's putting in just
So
general
that's
chit
the
chat
only chat
information.
that's working on screen then.
That's what I just said. Yeah, and
Oh,
so because if you're in your vertical mode, you can see what's happening in the other one, right? But what I've got to figure out is I've got to figure out how to make sure that the landscape mode is the one that's
Matt T said I'm sure it's Paula's fault.
what is that?
Matt T just put in chat, he
Oh,
said, I'm sure it's Paula's fault.
no, these are just growing pains. And again,
Of course it is.
as I try to grow the channel and try to provide you guys a better experience, there's going to be these little things that I don't see right off the bat because I can't challenge chat in setting up unless I'm live, right? So
I
these
don't
are
know,
things that I
man. I
have to
just want to hear
identify.
you talk and talk about coins. That's all. I just want to hear that.
Can you help me? What do you need, Dr. Idiot?
It sounds like a lot.
Yeah, well, you just need to tell me what you want to know. If you have a question regarding coins and currency,
Where do you see that
maybe
person?
if you
It's on the
you need something else, let me know.
vertical screen.
It's on the other
Oh,
side. Just let me know what you got. You know,
hashtag
ask
blame
questions.
Paula.
That's what Sunday's about. Sunday is general ringmaster raise on like hashtag blame Paula. Yeah, so there's a couple ways to do that. See your physician. But anyway, yeah, so have a good one. It just that's
Eric,
okay.
stop
I don't mind.
encouraging him.
Yeah, you know, I had a physician who said you know, they needed to put some change in their diet. So Paula's niece uh swallowed
Took it
some
literally.
coins. So yeah, took it literally. And I don't mind these people. You don't have to block them, David. I really don't. They want to be a troll. As long as they're not slandering people, as long as they're not doing things like racial things, or if they're not, you know, blastering
No,
religious and stuff like that.
this one's gonna be
If it gets out of hand, then we'll remove
a
them. But just
child.
general chit chat, whatever, that's fine. You know, let people do what they want to do. I don't mind. Um, Really, because it's like if you want to engage in that kind of conversation, go ahead. As long as it doesn't get out of hand, we go off the rails all the time, right? This is something that we do on many channels, right? We go off the rails. We talk about things that are mildly inappropriate all the time. So if you want to come out and be goofy and silly and be dumb, this could be a, you know, 10-year-old kid for all I know, you know, just wanting to talk potty humor. That's fine. That's okay. As long as it's not ignorant or rude. If you start belittling or belligerent my people and you start being ignorant and mean, or you start throwing racial tendencies or anti-Semitic stuff, then
You're giving
yeah,
him ideas.
yeah. Well, no, but here's the thing. Here's the thing. If I don't say it, people don't know. And I don't care. You want to come in and you want to be funny and you want to laugh. Ringmaster Ray is great with potty humor. Okay. He's great with it. He has a lot of goofy dad jokes. I don't mind that. I really don't. I just don't want to see anti-Semitic stuff. I don't want to see racial stuff. I don't want to see religious stuff. Um, because it's just not one of the things. SD Bullion. So SD Bullion, Dr. Idiot, is actually a bullion company who does they sell bullion, they sell coins. They're pretty reputable. We have
Wait, who is?
SD
SD
Bullion.
Bullion.
Oh, I thought you said Dr. Idiot was.
No,
I'm like, wait a minute.
yeah. So again, it's just one of those things. So if you want to, if you have questions like that, absolutely, we'll go ahead and do that. I will
Thanks for
accept
the
the banter and
information,
stuff
folks.
like that. I've got no issue with that. Really, I don't. If you want to be a troll and you want to do stuff like that and you want to laugh, fine, go ahead. Be a troll, have fun, do that, but just make sure you follow my rules. Do I do only coins?
I don't have time for him.
And that's yeah, but that's fine. But this is my
What are
stream,
you
so
talking about, Paula? You got all the time in the
and
day.
you
Look at
and
Facebook.
you go off squirrel and stuff all the
I
time too.
do.
So
I
do I
do.
only do coins? No, as a matter of fact, I don't. But my primary thing is coins and collectibles. So what I do in this particular channel is mainly coins, right? I'm not a currency folk. I don't know currency. I've only been doing this for God,
Ugh,
what, a year and 3 months, a year and 4 months? Not very long.
Is there
Um,
anything but coins?
nope.
but I do things like I collect ships and I have artwork and I'm interested in a whole bunch of other stuff.
I know.
So if you have
Have a good
questions,
day,
then
Kevin.
let me know. Say again?
I just telling Kevin to have a good day. He's taking off.
Oh, you taking
I
off?
have
Gonna
like
go have Easter brunch. Yum.
All right. Yeah, everybody, I know you're going to be in and out. Easter's one of those things that, a family always comes first. Yeah, a hardcore copper, that's exactly right. I don't mind you guys going off the deep end. I don't have fun, right? And this stream, I don't mind if you guys do that. Just keep it decent, right?
keeping it
I
fun.
I don't want any of the slander stuff. I just don't do that, right? It takes a lot to kind of push me to that end. Now what I will do is if you start coming in with names that are too much, it's just not going to happen. Okay, I just won't do that. But again, Dr. Idiot playing around, being a fool, it's in his name or her name, whatever that might be. Not a big deal. It's all good. My wife's boyfriend. Okay, yeah. So see, again, little stupid humor, right? You got to catch these little fun. I think that's hilarious. So go ahead and do that. It's fun. It's just banter. I don't mind that. Now, if anybody in chat has a problem with it, just speak up. Say, hey, you know what? That's a little bit excessive. We are almost all adults here.
Well, speak
Just
for
act like
yourself.
it. Just act like it. Monitor yourself, right? Um, what I don't want people to do is I don't want people to get on a power trip. My mods know this. I don't want people getting on a power trip and shutting people down and banning and blocking people. If I have a problem with that, I'll remove you. Easy. I get to make the decision of what happens in my channel. So if you want to play and you want to have fun, you play and you have fun. Not a big deal. You be disrespectful, you break my rules, then you're done. Okay, but have fun, right? I do this all the time. I tell stupid potty humor. So go ahead. Now, Dr. Idiot's comment is my wife's boyfriend has a great coin collection. I think it's hilarious.
That
But
is
anyway,
hilarious.
so keep it up. Again, it is what it is. My video game name, usually I change it. So I murder just subscribed, brand new to this channel. What do you do, I murder? One thing that you guys can do, if you do this, it should work, which is I'm going to put this in both sides of chat. I believe it's going to work. I allow people to do this. If you can do exclamation point, find me. It tells you a little bit about your channel. You can actually say who you are and what you do. Go ahead and do that, right? Just do me a favor. If you're going to promote yourself, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button and make sure that you're doing the channel. Also, the other thing that you'll see on here. Yeah, but you know what? I again, folks, I want to keep it on the up and up. I want to keep it clean, right? To a degree. I don't mind going off the rail, but if you have dry and stupid humor and you want to do that, just keep it. Just keep it. There's a border. We know that. Military currency. Yes, we talked military currency right at the beginning of the stream. Ringworm Ray is a menace. Okay, I wish I could pin his comment. Kraken knows Ray very well. Don't you agree, Paula?
Yes. No. I don't know.
Ray's a menace.
In a good way.
Yeah. Oh no, he's fun. Yeah. So it's all good.
I don't know.
Yeah, exactly, Siren. Just be kind.
No.
That's the big
I
one.
kind of like
Right.
it.
Yeah. And I don't mind. You get too much, I'll warn you. My moderators do a pretty good job about watching that. Yeah, timeout is good. So, but again, just keep it on the up and up. We don't need to belittle that anymore. Excuse me. But again, do me a favor. Make sure you're hitting that subscribe button. One thing that you'll see either above me or down over in the corner over there is I'm on my road to 2K. I'm only 3 subs away from 1,700 subs. My goal is 2K by the 1st of May. Okay, so I am really going to work hard in the month of April. Now, can I do it? We'll see.
2K by the 1st of May. You could make a little thumbnail about that.
I will be.
Right.
Yeah, I've got some stuff up there because it's a catchy little slogan. I'm not too far away. 303 subs in a month with a lot of work. I think I can do that. Excuse me. But it's going to take you guys being on board with it. So if this is something you guys want to help me do, let me know and we'll we'll get there. Because I really wanted to grow this channel. iMurder says, I have some 1941 Czech coins minted under occupation. Not worth a lot, but I like them. Amanda from Livecoin Q&A, is she's your guys' resident
World coin.
world coin person, right?
Yeah, she really likes world coins. There are a lot of super cool world coins that are not worth anything. I mean, really super cool. Even these military payment things, they're
interesting.
Yeah, they're interesting, and I mean, most of them are really affordable. So
yeah, and the thing that I like about currency is the artwork, right? I really like the artwork of some of the currency that's there. It's very there's some of them, especially like the goodness gracious, especially like the old world notes, like that Black Eagle note, right? Man, some of those are just amazing pieces of art. They're absolutely fabulous. And I love looking at some of those, but just like with some of those old collector coins, man, they get pricey fast. Some of those notes are just like, wow, crazy. What do you got showing on your screen there, Eric?
Yep, there's
It
cool
is
stuff out there, and
old PCI slab from the, I'm trying to think the series name, but it had like 7 numisticists or numistatists. I think Ben Potter has the PCI.
Language is hard.
Yes, that language is for me. Like I said, nomenclature isn't my specialty.
No, that's okay.
It's a double die obverse at plus a RPM, so it's double die number 8, RPM 29, and 1946S.
Very cool.
And it's autographed by JT Stanton. He's the one who graded it and attributed it.
That's very cool.
Just thought I'd put something different up than the typical stuff I always put up.
And JT Stanton, he works for NGC.
JT Stanton, Cherry Pickers Guide.
Cherry Pickers Guide. Gotcha.
Beavis Stanton.
Yeah.
Your FS numbers.
I don't know who the name. I don't know the names.
FS.
Your FS numbers, Beavis Stanton. That's where the Stanton comes from.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes.
I did not know that. So you learned something here if you didn't know that already.
He has passed away.
Yeah, he's, I think about 10, 12 years ago.
Hey.
Was it that long ago? I thought it was more like
2012.
Oh my gosh, that long ago.
Gosh Garnett's in the house. What's up? Gosh Garnett is with a new silver
2018.
mint.
You're right.
Yeah, I didn't think it was that long ago.
Gosh Garnett, do me a favor. Put in exclamation point, find me. Throw your channel link up there and let's
I did that for the first time.
Put your link up there. We'll put the mint's information in chat. So good to see you in here, bud.
Yeah, I hope to be adding some nonsense.
I like that. Yeah. Nonsense content.
That's really cool. Frostbyte, I found a new silver certificate, 57 series. Serial number is W. Wow, that's a really low number. 0000812.
That is a low number.
That's a low number. Recording a video at noon. Outstanding. Well, make sure that you put your channel link in there, and we'll get over and send people over to your mint. I'm trying to remember the name of your mint. Oh my God, I just went blank. Put that in there in chat, please. Gosh Garnet. I just went blank. I know it starts with an I. What's up, Begotten Solitude? How you doing? Good to see you, bud. Thanks for coming in. And again, folks, if you haven't already done so, please smash that like. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. I only need 3 more to 1,700. You guys can get me. Come on, let's do this. All right.
They want to see my yodeling pickle. I know what it is. I need to go get some more coffee. I'll be right back.
Yeah, no worries. She talks about her yodeling pickle and then leaves.
I love my yodeling pickle. Stop it.
Everybody's like, wait, hold on. Are you going to pull out your two
I love
buttons
my
too?
yodel and pickle, and she's gone.
Have you seen that, Eric? Did you see her
I
yodel?
have.
Her yodeling pickle?
Oh yes.
Just people are coming in. Local silver mint. There you go. I knew it was something like that. Yeah, you guys got some pretty cool stuff coming out. These guys, if you are a stacker or you like collectible silver, local silver mint's doing some pretty cool things to kind of promote. If we have a SH EF event, they have like 10,000 rolls of little coins that are really cool. You have to go check them out. They got some cool stuff out there.
That stuff I would like, but I have bought more collectible silver and gold this year than I have since 2004.
I think I'm to blame for some of that.
You are, because I was going to say 4 of them are spaceship rounds.
Yeah, I'm probably to blame for a little bit of that, but again, I think I was on the wrong channel. You might have been on the wrong site. Again, if you want to change from the portrait to the landscape mode in chat, pinned at the top, you can go click on that link and it'll take you either to landscape or portrait mode. So if you want to bounce back and forth, you can do that. If you're on your phone or you're sitting on a computer, you want to be in landscape, then make sure you click on that. Oh, there it is. The yodeling pickle. Go ahead, play it, Paula.
Okay. Oh my gosh, is that beautifully stupid or what?
How's your desk so organized?
You know, you were talking about this the other day. Who in the world came up with a yodeling pickle? Like,
I don't know, but I love it.
Who thought the yodeling pickle was
something good?
Was the good thing to do? That's just, it's funny. Oh, I have seen some of these names on Whatnot. Oh yeah, you're going to see a lot of these folks on Whatnot. Whose Whatnot channels are you on? Because I know we have a bunch of different people. We have
Be picky. Be picky.
Say again?
Yeah.
I said
Whatnot,
be picky.
It's become very.
There's a lot of crap on Whatnot
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and you'll hear me say this every time I'm on. Buy from trusted sources. So try to find people that are good within what you do and good within what they do, excuse me. But make sure that they're reliable. And if you ever have any questions about somebody or, hey, I'm looking at doing this, ask, right? Ask the questions. We got a lot of people who are interested in looking up things and trying to find out if something's good or not. If you have the opportunity to buy something and you've got a little bit of time, take good quality photos of it. See if they'll let you do that. Send it to us. We'll get it looked at.
That's the only downfall of Whatnot, is that the auctions go so fast.
You just don't have time.
Don't really have time to look things up. That's the only downfall. You really need to go into Whatnot, like
in most
know
sellers
what you're looking for, and
don't do it right. Like Coins and Ghouls, he does it good because you can go to look at his list 2 days before, and he's actually got the coins.
Yeah.
Most of the auctions you see, it'll just say auction 1 through 400, and the guy's just throwing stuff up randomly.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't want to do the clerical work.
Yep.
Yeah, it's again, you got to be very careful with Whatnot. At least on eBay, you get photos. Now the photos may not be very good, but you can always request them. But Whatnot is, it's hopping.
And I like that, but I mean, I don't really go in there and buy anything that I need to really look up, unless, like Eric said, I can go into somebody's stream and look it up ahead of time. But
yeah, and the other thing with Whatnot is you've got to be very careful that you're paying attention, because you can get light happy.
You can hit the button and all of a sudden it raises $15.
Yeah, and what you were thinking you were bidding $10 for, now you're at 43. So be very careful. I've spent a lot of money on stuff I didn't really want like that. Like I had a budget of what I would spend on that, and I blew it because somebody clicked it at, you know, 35 or $40, and then, you know, the very last thing I do is shoots up. The other thing with Whatnot, and I don't know if they've fixed this, but it drives me crazy, is actually, you know what? I'm not even going to say it because I don't want to give people ideas. So never
Yeah,
mind. Take that back.
exactly.
Yeah, take that back. Never mind. Ignore the man behind the curtain. So Kraken, there are some places. Go Ducky was one. They're on eBay, and when I first started, I was like, I want to see if they're any good. And I picked up two different bags. I picked up $100 one, and I picked up a $200 one. And I opened them, and then I took the information I took the packages and took everything, and I took it to a coin shop, and I said, you know, what were the potential values of everything? And I've bought other mystery bags, and I didn't get what I was hoping for. But I've bought mystery bags from Big Flip, and I've gotten more money than what was anticipated, or I'm pretty much right on spot. So you can find good mystery bags. You can find people who are reliable and put those together. They're good and fair. So there are places you can do it, but again, you have to know your source. You have to know where you're going. You have to know who you're working with. You have to know what the integrity level of that person is. And just because they look authentic, I just put out a short last night around midnight. We're looking at this goofy article from, I'm not going to say the channel out loud. You can look at the short.
Tell me I will.
Well, it's a certain TV channel, coin channel.
Oh,
And the Instagram post said, we came across a small hoard of an American treasure.
right.
Now this is what got me. Okay. I was like, are you freaking kidding me? It said this small hoard of 1943 copper pennies.
Right.
Right. And this is like a coin collection channel, right? So it's like, and the image that they showed was like 35 or 40 pennies. It's like the total N of 1943s everywhere is 40.
Is there that many?
Yeah,
No.
according to PCGS or something, I think the total population of known investors is 40.
Oh.
Yeah, so that means that means 20 of them are in PCGS slabs because half of them have been regraded twice or three times.
Maybe. Yeah, I don't know.
I'm just saying, I didn't think there was that many. I thought that there was somewhere around 30 or 40 between all three mints.
Yeah, there's the 1943. Yeah, it's I think the number that I read, the number that I looked up when I was trying to kind of combat this BS statement was that there's 40 known examples. And I looked at a couple different resources, and all of them said the exact same thing. So,
yeah, 40.
Really?
They know. Estimate 40 have been produced, and there are 27 known examples. So they're saying that there's probably 13 more out there.
Yeah, but the likelihood that they got this hoard that were all the rest of them.
Philly, one Denver.
Yeah, no, that would have made huge news. It wouldn't have been a small little fake ad on
Philly,
Instagram.
one Denver, and 5 San Francisco.
Say that again.
The rest are Philly.
6 Philly, 1 Denver, and 5 San Francisco.
Yeah, that's just on PCGS.
Right.
Yeah, this was I Wikipedia, and actually it's from an article in PCGS.
Yeah, PCGS has an article, and they break it out. They
estimated
talk about how many are there.
That up to 40 1943 copper pennies were produced, and of these 40, there are 27 known surviving coins. The rarity makes them one of the most coveted, sought-after items in American numismatics.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so they basically utilize that language to create this little ad, and they may have one of them or whatnot, but it's again, it's one of those things where it's like, folks, be smart about it. Hey, Shelby, how you doing? Good to see you. it's just one of those things. It's like, man, it drives me nuts. And the one that I did the other day, it drove me crazy. It really upset me. And that's the video that I did on the Premier train where they were talking about stacking gold coins. And you know what they showed? Paula, take a guess. Stacking gold coins. An article by CBS and
Probably
MSNBC.
plated coins.
Say again?
Were they plated?
No. They were
Stacking gold coins, they were probably like Sacagaweas or
exactly what they were. They were
No
the
way.
dollar coins. They showed the picture of the dollar coins. And I'm like, are you
Mhm.
kidding me? And
Oh, sweet.
it was like,
Go
oh
ahead.
my God, you're nuts. And it was targeting the elderly.
Yep.
Older folks, older people need to stack gold and silver and or gold and they need to collect coins. And it's like, and they showed, I was like, oh my God.
Eric, you would be surprised. So I've told this story before. I had a cousin whose wife, I was visiting them one year, and she came up to me and she goes, "I found a gold coin." I'm like, "Really?" She goes, "Yeah, let me go grab it. It's in the safe." I said, "Okay." She said, "I put it in this nice little holder and everything." Like, okay. So she comes downstairs and literally she has a Sacagawea. I had to, I had to like go online and like show her because she just refused to believe me
Yeah.
that it was not a real gold coin. And you'd be surprised at the number of emails we get and
Oh, I
questions.
know all about.
Yeah, they really think that they're gold. Like it's crazy.
And the worst part is you tell them it's not gold, and then they don't accept it. They just say,
Yep.
"You don't know what you're talking about. I'm going to go somewhere else."
Yep.
Yep.
And it doesn't
So,
matter. And Paula knows this probably better and a bit better than the rest of us. But they will shop and shop and shop and shop and shop
Oh,
for answers.
absolutely. You see that
I
on
have
Facebook
another
every
story for you
day.
guys about that. You want to hear about something that just backfired incredibly on like all the people in Facebook that try to help and everything, the experts and everything. This is on PCGS too. It is bad. So there was this guy who posted this coin for like a year, had been posting this coin throughout Facebook, fishing for somebody to tell him, that his coin was worth something. Well, it was a shield cent in crappy condition that was a vice job, right? Somebody had squeezed a memorial cent into the obverse, and so it had the
I've
reverse
seen
impression
that.
of a memorial cent. This guy refused to believe anybody that told him. So of course, when it gets to that point, we go, okay, that they usually say, okay, well, I'm just going to have it graded. And then we never hear from them again, right? Because they either know that they don't have what they say they have, or they have sent it in and it comes back damaged. So they don't want to eat crow, so we just never see them again. Well, I'm going to pull this picture up of this coin for you guys because I am and I
This
did my
doesn't
due
have
diligence on this, and
anything to do with the mint employee that bought like the gold coin in, and he struck a cent in the center of it, and uh, they had to say they were real coins because they were real coins, even though the coins were manufactured 100 years apart.
so let me.
Yes, Kevin. Kevin Rose is in the house. Kevin, that is a pickle. It is indeed. It, in fact, yodels.
Let me share. Hang on.
It is a yodeling
You
pickle.
don't mind? I know I'm like Frostbyte's like I'm never. I gotta quit having that chick up. She just takes over my stream every time I do. Hang on.
It's all good. No worries.
Okay.
What's going
So
on,
I don't know
JJ?
if you can pull that up. So
Gotcha.
that coin actually got a mint state 63 red brown, straight graded. And that's the other side. And you can clearly see it's a memorial cent squeezed into it.
Yeah, that I'll bet you is from that junk hoard from the mint employee.
It's horrible.
Yeah.
Well, he has the raw coin. This guy has the raw coin. There's the raw coin before he had it graded. clearly see that it is a vice job. That coin should have never, even without that vice job, that coin should have never straight graded. It should have got an environmental damage. It never should have straight graded. And that's
It
what
should have
people
got
did.
damage, not environmental.
Yeah, well, yeah, just damage. This guy will never believe a word anyone tells him ever again.
Well, he'll
Ever.
believe PCGS, and you know how I feel about them. Not that they're a bad thing; they have their place, but that's not the place. Obviously.
I'm flabbergasted. So once again, and he complained because he said, well, I didn't know I had to check the box to have the error put on it. So he's resubmitting this coin. Hopefully they catch it when he resubmits it. I did send in a complaint to PCGS, and what I got from their customer service was, we are not graders. We can't tell you why it's straight graded.
Right. It's none of your business.
Thanks for nothing.
Well, there was some coins
Now you have
on.
a crap coin in your slabs, PCGS, in
So,
your slabs. You
Here's
have
a question
crap
I have
coin
about that. Okay.
that's going to make it out into the market again, and
Do they know who graded it?
they can go
do.
back on the
Yeah.
serial, on the number.
The bad
Because-
part about it is it's supposed to be 2 graders and a finalizer, so it's supposed to be 3 people with eyes on that coin.
There's no way that coin was looked
No
up.
way. That's
Yeah,
right.
No
I would,
way.
because that right there, that basically should destroy PCGS.
But there's more than
Really?
that.
I mean,
That's what I'm
because
saying.
it's
Paula
like-
has had to see these coins that they've been posting over the last couple weeks. I mean, like, and they were all done in one day, supposedly. Guy struck a dime on a cent that was already
Mhm.
struck, and then he struck a cent on a gold, like a 1920 something
Oh, for crying out
gold
loud.
eagle. And they had them all graded, and they graded straight because they were actually real coins, and they actually were manufactured at the mint. The guy got busted for it. So I
Wow.
mean, I guess that makes some collectability to the coins, because the guy did get busted that did it, and that took him out.
Yeah, it's like the Henning nickel. It's the same thing. It's
Well, there are a lot of mint assisted errors out there. Mike
Oh, yeah.
Byers has some. I mean,
Yeah.
they're
Well, hell, they think the 58 double die could be a mint assisted error.
oh yeah, I know, and they're also talking about the 95D.
Yeah.
They're pretty sure that
Oh,
was done on
that is not a mint assisted error. That is a mint ordered error. I
Mint
think the
ordered.
95P was too, because that's when they were transitioning into single hubbing,
Please. Mhm.
single squeeze hubbing. And I swear I saw a memorandum, and I think it was from Ken Potter,
Wanted one more year.
that said, we want to make these double dies. They did it on purpose
Yeah.
to see why they were made and how they were made, and show why they couldn't be reproduced in the future.
Yeah, there's a lot of
Interesting.
shenanigans, and those mint assisted things should not be called errors, because they do not fall into the true
Well,
category
they're
of an
double
error.
dies. They were made on purpose, though.
But, right.
Yeah, I mean,
No, but now varieties are different. There's unintentional and intentional varieties. There
Right.
should not be any intentional errors,
that's right.
because that is like an oxymoron.
Well,
It just
that's what I
doesn't
say.
make
I
sense.
think the collectability is more in the, this guy did it and got busted, and these are the coins that they're collectible. That's
Oh.
like, I was watching a video on counterfeiting, and there was just a guy in Canada that was busted. They call him the best counterfeiter of all time because he did it on the books. He actually was in Canada, and he thought, how much time can I get for counterfeiting? An American dollar. So he counterfeited American $20 bills. And he goes, well, I've got to have the right paper. So I've got to have 75% cotton, 25% linen. Starts calling paper companies, and they're all laughing at him, saying, what, are you going to counterfeit American money? Because that's the only people that use this stuff. So finally he says, well, I'm going to try Europe. So he finds a company in Switzerland that says, sure, we'll make the paper. And he says, well, can you put a strip that says 20, USA 20, and a hologram of this guy on the paper? And they're like, sure. we can do that. We're going to have to buy some equipment. So he bought the equipment for this company, this paper company, and he buys the paper, puts out
Oh,
$300,000 for this paper order. It gets shipped to Canada, and he already thinks he's going to get busted. So he's waiting at the container, and he waits 3 days. Nobody comes. So he picks the container up and he drops it off where he's going to work at it and leaves it for, and watches it under surveillance. Nobody comes. So finally, he prints all this $250 million in $20 bills. And then he starts trying to sell them, and we can't find a buyer. So he starts selling in 10,000, 100,000, stuff like that. And he didn't get busted till he had almost sold all the money. And his punishment, he didn't even get any jail time. It was just a fine. They didn't even take the money that he made off of it
that's
away
so
from him because he
crazy.
wasn't an American citizen. So it's considered like the best counterfeiter of all time because he actually made enough money to live the rest of his life.
That's crazy. Like genuinely crazy.
Yeah. Let's see if I can find the guy's name.
One of the best counterfeiters for US currency is actually Peru. Some of the best known counterfeits that ever have existed came from Peru. Uh, Looking at when I did my one counterfeiting video where it was where's the money, and the number one bill outside of the US that's counterfeit is the $100 bill, but internally in the United States the $20 bill is the number one most counterfeited.
Yeah, the guy's name was Frank Barassa. And he did it in 2016. He got 6 weeks in jail.
Plymouth Chris, a lot of older ones were blank Bible paper, 2 sheets of paper together with a strip. Yeah, isn't that kind of sacrilegious?
Tax token catalog. What's that about?
Paul, are you still there?
Yeah, Kevin
Oh,
was asking about
Oh,
Washington State
neat.
tax token.
oh, got
So
you.
I just
Okay.
dropped the catalog for him.
Hey, Steve, looking for silvers here. What's going on, bud? Good to see you.
Here is some information about American tax tokens.
And for those
So
of
that
you that are
is-
looking for the currency stuff, we already talked about that at the very beginning. I can go over some
and-
more if you guys want to.
wait, is that the
It was
same one?
basically just answering a simple question.
So there's some information from the American Tax Token Society, because there's a society for just about everything in this hobby. You're welcome, Kevin.
Do you want to pull that up and go over it, or do you want to just?
No.
Okay. I just was asking. I wasn't sure. You have a
No, I
tendency
mean,
of wanting to do
I
that,
can
so
if you want to, but it's
I
not
just
something I like know a whole ton about. I just know where to find the information because we get questions about just about everything. So
great
I just
resource.
know where to find information. That's all.
Great resource. Very cool. So, what's new? What's going on? What events are happening? Anything fun for people?
Church, but I'm not going because
You
everybody's
got the
sick.
kids, huh?
Yeah. I'm gonna watch the kids so my son and daughter-in-law can go. She volunteers in the nursery, so she put a bunch of little pack in the 1-year-old. She put a bunch of little trinket things together for the kids, so she's gonna go, and I'm gonna
So,
watch the kids.
Inkman, on the screen, this is the article, and I put this in chat earlier. If you don't know which one it is, on your military currency, you're going to see whatever it might be. So you'll see that some of them are Japan, you'll see some of them are Europe. But what you do is you look at the serial, the series number, and
Mhm.
if you look at the series number, it'll say something like, for instance, you come over here and you see that 541 was done in Japan and South Korea. And so you'd be able to look at that series, kind of know what's going on, and then you'd be able to research some of the additional numbers. This link, and I'll go ahead and I'll put this in chat. for everybody. So that's the link for that paper money. This comes from the Bureau of Engraving and Printing. So if you have these military currency, you have these particular items, and you're interested in learning more about it, again, they show the images. There's a little bit about how it was produced, but this is from the Bureau of Engraving and Printing. It's a great article. It's something that'll really be beneficial. So if you want to go check that out, go over there and look at that. And that's where I pulled up the information for this. There's also, I'll shoot a picture of it and send it to you. Absolutely. Yeah, you can do that. And then I'll give you whatever information I can. There are
There's
also
books
on
too.
Livecoin Q&A, there are 2 people in Livecoin Q&A who are really good at this. There's also Kingdom Currency.
He doesn't do stuff like that.
He just does regular dollar bills.
I'm pretty sure he just does like serial numbers and
Okay,
stuff.
that's fine. But if you
yeah.
want to know anybody who really understands a lot about currency and the value of currency, Kingdom Currency is a really good place to go. But if you're looking for the resident kind of community experts, now there's other people that know a lot about this. I know Big Apple Stacker is a huge collector, so he has a lot of currency and things of that nature. But Blue Ridge Silverhound is really smart about that. And then Shannon Smith from Lifecoin Q&A. They are both very knowledgeable about notes. So if you want to know more about that, Paula just put in another, that is a American Numismatic Association link.
Yes, and if you scroll down to the bottom of that page, there are some books and a couple other resources too for information on military payment certificates.
Well, I'm actually going to just go ahead and bring that up.
It's a great little short little read about it.
Yep.
Just kind of gives you a short history and
yeah.
I mean, there's not really a lot to know about it. It just kind of is. It's something that just is what it is, and there's no mystery.
Yep. And this link is also in the description. This link, I had already had this link in the description of the video. So this link is in there as well, because this is one of the items that I pulled out. So you'll see this one as well as the Bureau of Engraving Printing's article. So if you want to know more about that, that's where you go find those 2 items. But again, if you're really wanting to know more about that, you have something that you want to do, then go ahead and go check out. You can reach out Livecoin Q&A, take photos of whatever you're doing. Make sure they're good quality photos, right? Make sure they're good lighting. Make sure they're clean, they're clear. And then when you ask a question, don't say, "What do you think?" Don't say, "Hey, how much is it worth?" Ask us a very specific question. I'd like to know more about the origination and maybe the mintages of this particular item, right? That's very poignant. It's very specific. It tells them exactly what it is that you're looking for. It asks them, yeah, so some of these are beautiful. I mean, like this is the one that I just showed earlier at the very beginning that actually is only from Vietnam. You'll only see this one from Vietnam. And that Series 681 won't be from anywhere else. But I love the artistry. That's one thing about the currency. If there was anything, it would be the artistry and currency that I just enjoy it. But I'm still so new to this hobby that I just don't know a lot about currency yet. So we'll make sure that, and I don't need to be the resource for everything. There's so many people who are way more knowledgeable in so many areas. If you try to be the expert in all areas, you'll end up being the expert in none.
Nothing.
Being the expert in one area, you can't hardly be an expert.
Exactly.
Well, and again, you've got to be very focused, very diligent. I don't mind being a center point for your information. So if you want to have, say, hey, Frosty, I'm trying to find out information about this. I can give you a little bit of information based off the research I do and find out who the point of contact is. Most likely it's going to include Paula.
Me.
Because, and I say that because Paula has some amazing resources.
I do.
The Livecoin Q&A have an extreme vast amount of knowledge. But if you guys want to come to me and say, hey, what's going on? I'll do the research. I'll do the due diligence. This is what I enjoy. My channel is educational, right? I try to be a little bit fun and try to have some entertaining factors. but I want to provide it in a way that helps. But I'm not even going to try to learn everything
You
there
know
is
what I
about
thought was
numismatics.
funny when I was reading about these military payment certificate things
What's that?
is the shenanigans that the military tried, that the service members tried to pull.
Well, hey,
Yeah,
they're human.
and
yeah.
how the government was like,
Nope. Yep. One of my favorite episodes. Now,
Funny.
I don't know how many people. Let's do this. Okay, we've got a couple people in the other chat. There's not very many, but how many people know the TV show MASH? Okay, no, I'm not affiliated with any of that, but there is an episode in MASH, and if you're not familiar with MASH is a 60s, 70s, 80s comedy show that ran 3 times longer than
So
the Korean
good.
War.
Drama
Yeah,
comedy. Yeah.
it's hilarious. Absolutely an amazing show. Just I really enjoy it. But there was an
I think it's actually
episode.
coming on Netflix again. I think I
Yeah,
just read something
yeah.
about that.
Oh, nice.
Hey, West Texas Stacker, what's going on, bud? Good to see you, bud. Yeah, and so the one thing about there was an episode where they had this military currency and they needed to raise some money for somebody that had something back home. Hey, what's going on? My mom's in chat. Hi, Mom. Happy
Aw,
Easter.
happy
Um,
Easter.
Colonel Potter, yes, and I like Colonel
Hot
Potter
lips
more than I did
Houlihan.
Harry.
Hot lips Houlihan.
Yeah. And I like Radar better than I liked Klinger. Radar. I like Klinger, but Radar was the better clerk. But anyway, when you're looking at this this episode, they did some amazing shenanigans with recreating a new person and trying to put somebody on the books and do payment and all this stuff, and then they faked his death and they sent all this money back home to this person. It was hilarious. So I'll see if I can't find that, whether it be on YouTube or somewhere, and pay attention to the chat. I'll try and throw that in chat. It's a great episode about military currency, the scripts. It's hilarious, but I'll see if I can find that, and I'll make sure that I can do that. So
Well, they had to go so far as to do each time a new series came out, they did like a demonetization of the old one, and they had to do it secretly. They're like they had a day that
Yeah, always
nobody knew
somebody.
about. It was just hush hush. None of the service members knew when the old stuff was going to not have any value anymore and the new stuff was going to come in. So they'd have this old stuff and go to spend it, and all of a sudden, like, nope, sorry, it's no good. They had to do it secret. Oh my gosh.
yeah,
I
and
thought that part was funny.
like I said, there were a lot of things where they used to, and they were worried about people actually like theft of that, but they would actually jack with the countries too. And so what they would do is, and I don't know if you're aware of this, but another nation could not turn in the military currency.
Right. No, I did know that.
They couldn't
Yeah.
do it. And
Right.
so what they would do is they would try to get service members to turn it in for them, and then they
Right.
would give them money back. The problem is that the currency, when you would change it in, it got put into a ledger, and then they would balance that ledger, and they would say, "You made $4,000 in the last 6 months."
That was one of the reasons why they did that secret demonetization.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, wasn't there a way that the local merchants, because a lot of this was spent in local economies, the local merchants had a way to get their
But
currency?
I don't think it was supposed to be, though.
No.
No,
So
when they got the money back, it wouldn't be in American dollars. It would be like, say they were doing rupees. And,
yeah. So what would
a dollar
happen?
was worth 100 rupees. They would turn one of these coupons in, and the U.S. government would give them 100 rupees.
Yeah. So what would happen
Whatever the-
is that you would have um, military currency in places. Now there are a couple different reasons for it, right? So let's say that the local area. So we'll talk about. We were just talking about MASH, so I'll just mention Korea because Korea 50 to 53. So you have Korea going on, and you have a massive amount of military members being pushed into an economy. They may not have the numbers on currency. So they may not have. So I'm going to go ahead and flash this back up again really quick. Right. So they may not have, and we'll just do, this one's Vietnam, or we'll do this. It doesn't matter which one. They may not have this piece of currency available in the numbers they needed in order to pay the soldiers. That country may not have enough money printed, or they may not have the availability to be able to pay them in their local currency. So what they would do is they would do these scripts on a temporary note or a temporary basis until they could get enough currency in that particular area to pay those sailors, or pay the army or the Marines or whatever in that country's currency.
But
So-
they said that one of the problems that they were having, why they did it, was because they had too much of that nation's currency. They were ending up with too much of that nation's currency. The U.S. was, because in the beginning, service members so they would go to a country whose like dollar was like had like hardly any value. So that the people, the nationals wanted our money instead. So
Right. This
they
was
were
why these were made.
Yep.
right. So the U.S. service members were like selling our currency to them, and then we would end up with they would end up with a abundance of that nation's currency, and would go out and buy a ton of stuff because they
Right.
had more money.
And
And
that's
but
why, like,
the
if the
government
merchants
ended up
brought
with
back,
huh?
that's why with the merchants brought back a $5 certificate, there was a way, there was somebody on the base that they could turn this money into, and then they would get, let's say, it was 10 won on the dollar.
Right.
They would give them Korean wons back. They
Right.
wouldn't give them dollars. So it was
Right.
done at the
'Cause
current exchange rate always.
Yeah, and at the problem in the beginning was that we were ending up with all of this foreign currency, and we had like a surplus of it. So
Yep.
maybe I'm getting it wrong. That was my understanding when I was reading it. That was like the origin of it all was
Yeah.
like
So what it says here, and I'm going to try and put this. It's going to be difficult, so I'm going to have to go back and forth a little bit. But if the troops obtained the American military currency in excess of their actual pay through official means, there was no way to control the conversion of the extra AMC into additional dollars. So what they would do is they would try, because again, let's say that we're talking we'll just speak Vietnam or Korea, it doesn't matter which one. Let's say that the convergence, or the currency conversion, excuse me, was basically 15 to 1, right? And so people that were in that area, people that were in the shops, the bars, the parlors,
Yeah, the
whatever it
local
was,
people, the people that
right?
live
The
there.
locals wanted the US dollar because it was worth so much more money. And so what they would do is they would obviously trade, but they weren't allowed, they weren't supposed to be accepting that, right? The military told you're not supposed to be utilizing
right.
the US currency to do that. The scripts kept people from getting the US currency. So they stopped allowing military members in those areas to have US currency.
Right.
And that's why they would demonetize those scripts. And so basically what would be left in that situation was that you would have these people, and they would have all this massive amount of money that they wanted to trade in, but the government wouldn't allow those local people to trade it back in because they weren't
Right.
Oh,
supposed
they
to be
did.
having
That's
it
what it was
anyway.
all about. This money was used until they could get the actual local money that was supposed to be there.
That's what I
Mhm.
just said a minute ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So
so
when the merchants, they would come, they had it was different than a soldier. They had a way they could go, turn the money in, and then they would get local currency in return. They just weren't out of the money.
actually, no. In some cases they were out the money.
I
And it,
think there was a timetable put in place, but yeah, I mean, if they come back 3 years later because they
Well,
found
that was why they did those secret demonetization things. I
yep,
can't
because
remember what they
what would
called it.
exactly because what would happen, and this was a major problem in Vietnam, they would demonetize something, and then what would happen is those local merchants would actually come through and be really ticked off, and they
right,
would
then they
do
never
things.
accept the script again.
Yeah.
Well, not only
Yeah,
that, but
they were like coming after military members. Like
they
it was
were
becoming
they were
dangerous.
planting bombs and shooting people and
Mhm.
giving away secrets and doing all sorts of stuff. So that was a practice that they had to stop. And so that was one reason that they would like what Paul is saying on that demonetization of those
Conversion
secret
day. They called
things.
it conversion
right.
day.
Yep.
Yeah.
And what they would do it normally they would do it tied to troop movement. And so when they were getting ready to move, they would do a demonetization and they wouldn't tell the soldiers, right? Because
Yep.
again, they told them they would cash in a bunch of stuff to try to make in some extra money.
Mhm.
Because if you had the currency and you went to another area where they accepted that currency, you could still trade it in locally, right? So there were still they could use that money in
Figure
other
it out.
locations. The problem is that the people in that nation that were doing it, there were a lot of times in which they were not able to recoup the money even in their own currency, and it caused issues, like massive, massive issues. It was such a problem in Vietnam that what would happen is that they would send merchants who were well known, people who cut hair or tailors or things of that nature, and they would actually plant devices and do um eh, if you've seen like Apocalypse Now or you've seen
Sure.
Cherry Hill or you've seen some of those movies where they actually would walk from the gate and they would report back, from the gate, it's 22 paces by 7 paces. And they would give them basically a map so that when the enemy went to attack that, they would have the mortaring positions. And so there were a lot of reasons that this actually became a very, very, very bad thing. So that was one of the reasons why they wouldn't allow for um, the military members to, or why they shouldn't have allowed the military members to spend those particular items out in public. There were a very, very short window for them to trade that stuff in. But
That's what I'd
again,
say, but there was a window for them to trade it in.
very, very small.
Yeah.
And a lot of times they weren't necessarily like they had to be in line and ready when the people were there. And if they missed it, they were out. They lost it. And this was something that again, talking MASH, talking about that particular item, this is something else that they had when they would do that. You would see the military members that they'd be walking around, and then you'd see this line of the nationals that were trying to trade in their currency. And if they got there after the person had closed the till, they couldn't do it. That was actually based off fact.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, I'm sure that procedurally it was different in
Yeah.
every occupancy or occupation, because you learn from one, you learn from another, you learn different things. The one in Vietnam, it just sounds like somebody was getting rich. That's what it sounds like to me. I hate to say
Isn't
that.
there usually isn't that usually like the
Yeah.
I was just about to
especially-
say that, Paul. That's
somebody's always
kind of
making-
the standard norm. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
somebody was on the receiving end of something good.
Yeah, so Wolf Metals said something in the other chat, and that was that it's interesting that you have both formats at once. You wouldn't normally have both formats at once. What would happen is that the military currency was issued as for a very short time until that
As a
host nation
substitute.
could get enough money so that they could pay those military members. Once they had
Well, I
enough
thought he
money
was
to do
talking
that.
about landscape and portrait.
Say what?
I thought he was talking about landscape and portrait mode.
Oh, maybe. I thought, well, we were talking money. So, yeah, Wolf Metals, I did that so that if you're on your phone, then you can do that. You can navigate to each one of them just by going to the chat and clicking on the link up above. And if you don't want to be in landscape mode, you want to be in portrait mode, then you can click on it and then get over there. But yeah, so there were some West Texas Stacker. Best haircut I ever had was along the DMZ. A lot of goods and services were done. A lot of trading was done in that area. A lot of purchasing was done. And so a lot of times military members would do what they could to help out the locals. But the military frowned on a lot of that. And they put things in place that prevented it. Um, and where the host nation really got hurt was unannounced sudden troop movements, where you would have a sudden troop movement that occurred and they wouldn't have time to transfer the monies. They wouldn't have time to do some of that. So in many cases, you would have local farmers and small villages that if they were moving 5 miles away, that village would move with the military unit. Because it was the only way in which they could sustain and survive, because if they left and they weren't able to cash in for what they had, they were basically left with nothing. And so you would see some of these, what do they call them? Gypsy style caravans that would move along with the military transports through things like Vietnam and Korea and stuff like that. Now it was glamorized and Hollywoodized in MASH, but a lot of that stuff was taken from actual reports and stories and stuff like that. So while MASH was a dramatic comedy, there were a lot of truths based in MASH. It pointed a lot to the political flavor of where we were at during that time frame and some of the things that happened. But yeah, pretty cool. It's a fun thing. I love the currency. I just haven't been able to really study it. And again, if you're in here and you haven't been, so do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up. How many likes do we have right now?
Oh, God.
Or nah, you got to refresh, bud.
I'm not going to refresh.
Yeah, that's you know when they
issues on my end.
When they did their update with that interface, you can't just see, and I think it was done on purpose. Me personally,
on this stream we have 43.
Okay, well we got to get a couple more, folks.
And I don't know about the portrait mode. I can go check.
So, but they did, 44, outstanding. Thanks, Chris G. When they did that update, I think they did it for a reason. And this is conspiracy me now. I don't do a lot of conspiracies. But I think what happens is when you refresh,
17 on the other one.
they get ad time. Right?
Yes.
And so in order to see the new subscriptions and the new counts, you have to refresh. That's another ad that gets issued. So
Then it only counts if you watch it for like 15 seconds or something, right? Or
sometimes they force you to watch it for 15 seconds.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. And so I think it was kind of, I don't want to say it was a ploy, but I think it was an ad tactic. 18 likes over there. Yeah, seeing weird numbers. It's okay. It's all good. Between the two of them, we're at 50. So I'm going to do something. And I'm going to do one at each side.
No, I told you it's really weird because like right now I'm showing like 4 people watching in portrait and 18 in landscape. But so at the end of it, like it should show like less views in the portrait than the landscape, but it doesn't. Like your views will go up in the other one. It's weird. I don't understand it.
Yeah, so my portrait mode, so who got this? Wolf Metal Stacking, outstanding. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Wolf Metals, do me a favor. Get my email. You can do ! email. And I got something for you. So send me an email. Why is my Nightbot not picking up? And there it is. You got my email there. Frostbyte at gmail.com. So go ahead and send me a claim email. Let me know. And then I got something that I want to send you.
Congratulations.
But congratulations. So that's for the 50 likes, because between the two of them, we got 50. So we're cool. Now, Coin Cruise, they're doing an auction today, right? I think they said they were.
I don't know.
Thanks, Wolf Metals. Appreciate you, bud. I can't remember who said it, but something as the Korean War could have been avoided if the country was divided into North and South. Maybe a lot of the Korean War had to do with um land ownership of a couple extreme resources. Can't do it, David. It's only a owner command, but I don't know if it's going to happen on that side. I tried to do 2 commands on that side and it's not working. We'll see if it comes back up. Right now, it didn't show up in the other side, but we'll see. Um, but there were issues over the parallel, like the location, that debarkation line. But I can't tell you any more about that. I know that um, yeah,
I
actually,
don't see
No
a coin
crew
crew train.
auction today. Wolf said no crew auction today.
no coin crew auction today.
It's
Well,
Easter.
cool. Okay, that means I
Okay.
don't have to do anything. I don't have to forward you guys anywhere, so we can do whatever we want to. You guys like karaoke?
No,
Paula sings a mean song.
I don't, and you will lose viewers and probably subscribers.
Oh, I'll be listed as a comedy channel.
I'm telling you, it's like a bad war cry.
Oh, let's see.
It's like nails on a chalkboard.
Let's see if that's
Oh,
what I
come
make.
on. Everybody knows Love Shack.
The
Love
love shack is a little.
There we go.
Anxious Stacker's in the house. What's going on,
Hey,
bud? He
man.
said he doesn't know there. I didn't know there was military currency. So I like the military currency. Obviously. Oh, so you know what? Happy Easter again, everybody. I haven't said that
Happy
for quite a
Easter.
while.
He is risen.
So
Indeed.
hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful day today. But I would like to also say thank you to the men and women who serve or have served in our United States military. Thank you. If you serve your military abroad, I salute you. Thank you so much. But I would also like to thank our first responders. Again, they sometimes have a very thankless job, and this is something that I like to do. I don't do it every stream, but I probably should. But again, if you're a military member or you're a vet, I know West Texas is a vet. I know that me is a vet. I know that uh, Paula is a vet. I'm a vet. I know we got quite a few in chat. Um, if you're a vet or you're a first responder, please do me a favor, put a 1 in chat, just so we can say thank you. I appreciate that. Again, I hope you guys really do respect and appreciate the sacrifice that these folks make to make sure not only that you guys are safe, but to make sure that the services that are provided are of the utmost benefit to the community.
And
So,
I want to say something about that. If you have ever wanted to join the military and for whatever reason, physical or whatever, you were not able to, I'd like to say thank you. Because that means a lot too. A lot of people wanted to serve and just for whatever reason they weren't able to. And that's important. Just the willingness is important.
Yeah,
I
my poor
agree.
son
Our
got duty today.
our military recruitment is way down. Morale is way down. Support for the country is way down right now.
The military morale, my son says it's fine.
It's not fine. It
I
might
mean, like
be
I said,
okay.
he's on duty right now. I got a text from him yesterday saying, of all the days I get stuck with duty, he went in at midnight and gets off tomorrow at like 8 a.m.
It's always okay when you're, if you're happy in your unit and things are good. And I mean, but overall, the morale is not good. Recruitment is way down.
Recruitment is down. He did say that. I mean, he if I'm not mistaken, he
He's
got
happy in
promoted
his
just to
unit.
get
His unit's
promoted.
probably happy. So, they
Yeah.
probably have really good command, local command.
I'm not sure. He said that the only thing that he wishes it was different is he was eye level.
Yeah, I get it.
He's on the Gerald Ford, and he says there's better places to be stationed.
Yeah, I get it.
well,
Not to mention his family lives in San Diego and he's in Norfolk. So,
but here's the thing about that. That happens in business.
Yeah.
There are good companies to work for, and there are other companies where you can have a really good job, but the company itself is difficult. Whether it be policy procedure, whether it be, there's a statement about, yeah, got your email. I did get that. Thanks, Wolf Metals. Um, Most people don't quit their job; they quit their managers. Um,
Well,
and
that's true.
yeah, and so you can say, oh well, certain commands, yeah, but you know what? You can go from a command climate that's horrible to changing commands and it being one of the best ones you've ever been at.
Yeah.
So dynamics can change.
I'm just
Uh,
talking about overall, like, I mean, a lot of military members right now don't know whether to scratch their watch or wind their butts. You know what I mean? It's like a daily change in things. And it's just, I went through Air Force basic training, cakewalk, right? Compared to some of the other branches, easy peasy. But compared when I went through to compared to what they go through now, like it was it was like going through the Marines back. I mean, if you do the comparison, I went to San Antonio a few years back. My daughter had joined and she hurt her ankle like right before graduation, so she wasn't able to graduate. It was heartbreaking, but we already had our plans, so we went to the graduation anyway and went and saw her. She was in Medhold, but we walked around and watched how some of the TIs in the Air Force, they're called training instructors, how they are not allowed to yell at the recruits. I mean,
no,
it's
it's horrible.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
We took a tour of the barracks that they are now, and they have vending machines, for crying out loud, in the hallways. Like it's incredible.
I
Things
blame participation trophies.
Oh, exactly. It's unbelievable. And when I was going through, if you got put in medhold, you stayed in medhold until you were able to rejoin your
Yep.
another
Or they
flight
boarded you out.
and go and finish. Now, yeah, now if you're in medhold, they just go, okay, bye. So a lot of and they did it back then because a lot of kids would go in and they'd be like, oh, I hate this. I changed my mind. So they would fake an injury and they would get put in medhold thinking they were going to be released. Well, that wasn't how it worked. The military had by that time had already spent so much money getting you
Yep.
there
Yep.
that they were not going to let you go. Well, now they stub their toe and they get put in medhold and get released. Like, it's unbelievable. So anyway,
I don't know about that, Anxious. My son says sir and ma'am to everybody, whether you're in the military or not the military.
Right?
Everybody. I mean, even when he talks to me and I say, hey, we got to do this and this and this, he's yes, sir.
So there are certain areas where, and this is what he's saying is actually kind of truth. Um, Pronouns, putting pronouns on your emails as a military or a government employee, indicating what your pronouns are. My preferred pronouns are, she, it, because I am the she, it.
Shit.
But so there are certain situations depending upon the command and things like that where yes, sir, ma'am, again, and now, do you have to do that? It depends on your local policy, right? I still use sir and ma'am regardless, and
And
if they
that's what I'm
say
talking about. Like, I'm sorry, I don't want to offend anybody
yeah,
out there. That is the last of my intentions, but that would not fly with me. That would not fly with me. We need to serve the masses and the majority, and not the minority. Like, we have to consider the big picture. And there are things that are happening right now that are going to get people killed.
Yeah, my whole theory on this,
It
and
is scary.
I'm not going to say the word, but way too many people have way too many extra F's to give.
Yes.
yep, exactly.
Yes. Exactly.
If they worried about themselves a little bit extra and quit worrying about what everybody else does, we'd be a better place.
Exactly.
There's the Rodney King, right? Can't we all just get along? We have lost the ability, and I've said this, God, I don't know how many times because it's something that just drives me crazy. Argue, fight, disagree with me. I don't care.
And we can still be
Right.
friends
We can
afterwards.
still
Yeah.
be friends. We can still talk. Critical thinking comes from objective viewpoints. I need to know that you don't agree with me. Tell me that I'm wrong. Tell me that I'm an idiot. But you know what? Tell me why in a respective manner. Don't just say, well, you're an idiot, and then walk off and expect me to just go, oh, okay, thank you. No, tell me why. If you have a belief system, great, no problem. I don't care if you're Hindu, Muslim. I don't care if you're Jew. I don't care if you're Wiccan. I don't care if you're atheist. It doesn't matter to me. I'm not
Well,
going to
you're a
push what
decent
I
person.
believe on you. I'm going to tell you what I believe. And if you say I'm not interested, then stop. Not a big deal. But I am not going to hold, oh, you're wicked. I can't, I can't talk with you. I can't be around you. Oh my God. You like trees. What the hell's wrong with you? Or, don't you know trees cause pollution? Like, I mean, I don't do that kind of stuff, because if you want to believe that, fine, go ahead. You're cool. Do it. I don't mind, because I'm going to get a viewpoint of things that I don't have by listening and talking to you. Now, are you going to change my mind? Maybe. Are you going to change Paula's mind? No,
Definitely not.
not until you've given her adequate
Kidding.
facts, shown her resources,
That's right.
right? Because no, I know this about Paula, and sometimes Paula and I'm like, I don't agree with that. But you know what? It doesn't
But
matter.
you got to tell me why, man.
Yeah,
You got to
and
tell me
I don't.
why. I won't. You tell me I'm wrong.
And
That our conversation does not end there.
so, Kevin, here's the thing.
Does
Okay,
No
not.
way.
No.
I don't. So that stuff doesn't
Only that
bother me. You know,
person.
I used to live in Utah, and people would be like, "Oh, you must be Mormon." No, I'm not. I'm not LDS. I'm not Mormon. Well, you lived in Utah. Is it bad there? It's like they're just people. They have a belief system.
Because I have 10 wives.
Some I
Come on.
understand, some I don't. Those are polygamists. They're extremists.
They're in
There
the
are people
extreme
who are
minority,
there are
too.
people who are non-LDS that have more wives than that. But anyway, and so but it doesn't matter. People are people, and what we have forgotten to do as a people, what we have forgotten as a society, primarily in the West, but as a society, we just don't agree to disagree. We just can't just get along. I mean, I don't care how much you argue. I don't care how much you fight. I don't care how much you disagree with somebody. I've got friends that we almost never see eye to eye. But I know that if I'm out at 2:00 in the morning in a heavy rainstorm and I get a flat, their ass is going to get out of bed. They're going to drive 50 miles, and they're going to give me the tools to help me change my tire.
Frostbite, so real quick. I am like, I don't care what you do in your personal life. I really don't. If you're a good person, you're good in my book.
That's it. That's
You are
I mean,
okay in
it's
my book.
simple,
My
it's a
thing
simple
is
code.
when it comes to the military, there is a point where you have to draw a line, because there are certain theaters that the military will go into where some of this, like,
Oh, I know.
men identifying as women and stuff will get an entire unit killed. That's where I have to look in.
Oh, I get, yeah.
Well,
You know what
here's
I
the
mean?
thing. How many people
There are
actually
things that
care?
we have to look at the big picture in some of this stuff.
You know, all these people, like you see these on YouTube, a video. So-and-so is coming out as gay.
Mm-hmm.
Who cares?
Right.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Why do
Oh,
you
what?
actually care enough to have to tell the world?
Yeah.
You know, tell your friends, tell your mom, whatever. And
Ad-
be a good person and go on with your
advertising.
life.
Marry your goldfish. I don't care.
Advertising.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's all about clicks and likes and watch time. They don't give a rat's ass about these
I'm
people.
never going to be good at that, obviously.
They don't.
Mm-mm.
It's all about
Mm-mm.
clicks and watch time. That's all it is.
But,
I just,
you know, even you see this stuff on the news, you know, this person is doing this, so they're going to put her in the put it in the women's league. They're doing it all wrong. Target was the only people that handled it
Oh
right.
yeah.
Add an extra bathroom and put anything goes on the sign. You know, you got men, you got
Malcolm,
women, then you got unisex. Whatever you're, whatever it is. That's what you do with the NCAA. You have men's tennis, women's tennis, and anything goes tennis.
Malcolm, here's how I feel about that. A country without a border is not a country. That's how I feel about that.
In a
It's
country
as
without
simple-
rules
it's
isn't a
as
country.
simple
You
as
gotta
that.
have rules.
Yeah, it's as simple as that. Like there's a full out invasion going on right now. We have no border. But that's all. That's my opinion. That's it. That's not the opinion of this
on another
content
note,
creator.
Somebody said they saw a skunk ape around here.
A skunk cave? What's a skunk cave?
Ape, Bigfoot.
Bigfoot.
Yeah. We get a lot of Bigfoot sightings in Florida. They're supposedly
lot of
just like the
crazy
Oregon Bigfoot, but they smell worse.
Yeah, well, but you know why that
Yeah,
is?
just like the Oregon, nothing smells worse than an Oregon Bigfoot.
Yeah.
Well,
You
the
know-
big old sweaty Florida Bigfoot probably does.
But it's vacation season, Eric.
Yeah, that's
Big-
true.
Bigfoot has to
Actually-
go on vacation too.
This is the last week, and people start going home
Yeah.
tomorrow.
Yeah.
Let our kids be kids.
Yeah.
Let the kids be kids.
Let kids be kids. I'm good. I'm good with that.
Yeah. Let them be kids. I mean, listen, there was a time I can remember, thank God I was not a young pre-adolescent growing up in today's standards, because I would probably be Paul. Because I went through a long period of time as an adolescent where I wished I was a boy. And a lot of it had to do with the fact that my dad wanted a son so bad that
Well, that's
he,
where the term tomboy came from.
yeah, and I was a huge tomboy. I mean, I really was. Like I legit was like, I wish I was a boy. I could pee standing up. Like, I mean, like the whole deal. And
Well, here's the
if
thing,
that-
Paula.
if
You
I
can
had
pee
gone through that-
standing up without being a boy.
huh?
I says you can pee standing up. That's the thing.
Well,
That's
I
a
can,
misnomer.
but it's messy.
Sure.
And,
All right,
Yeah,
folks,
okay.
come on.
We're getting carried away here. Right?
Yeah, well,
but I'm just saying, like,
but the
that-
point
I-
is clearly made, right? And
yeah,
again,
talk to your kids.
what and I say this jokingly, but I say it seriously. How many guys in here put on their mom's high heels and tried to walk around when they were young boys?
My feet were too big.
So, well, but my point is that just because they did something because they saw their mom do it, or a girl
Yeah.
does something because they saw their dad do it,
Yeah.
doesn't mean that they're confused.
That's
I caught
right.
my grandson in putting on his mom's makeup. Like,
Right.
My dad put it best to my mom. I don't even remember what it was about. It was about my sister. She just said, let them be kids.
Exactly, Malcolm. Yeah.
Let your kids be kids. And then when they become adults, hopefully the lessons they learned as kids come through.
Is my mom still in chat? I think she might still be in chat. She may have left when it went off the rails. She
Tell us
probably
some
took off.
secrets, Mom. Tell us some secrets.
Well, but here's so one of the things that we talk about this, I would wake up in the morning and I would get on my bike. I would ride my bike 30, 40, 50, 60 miles a day. No joke.
Yeah, you'd go out after breakfast and
Yep. And if I was
you
going
would
to be
come
late,
home
if I was going to
before the
be home
streetlights come on.
anywhere close to dark, I would call her. I would stop at a grocery store or a convenience store, or I would stop at a payphone because we had payphones. We had the little things there and we could just pick it up, dial operator and say, I need to collect call and say, going to be late.
Oh, see, we didn't even do that. If we were playing baseball or something and we saw a street light, it was on. You were on your bike and you were going as fast as you could because if it was dark, you were in.
Well, but there were
what?
times, Eric, there were times where, so when I was younger, I grew up in different places, but one area, oops, who'd we lose? We lost Paula. Her power went out. One thing so I used to ride my bike a lot. I used to ride, 20, 30, 40 miles. No joke. And I had friends that lived 23 miles from my house and I would ride my bike to see them. And I did the same thing, Malcolm.
Yeah,
But
we
I
did that.
knew that if I didn't leave at a certain time, but if we were playing games and running around and I was a little bit late, I would call my mom and say, "Hey, this is where I'm at. This is the route I'm taking home. I may be on the border of being late." And then she would make the determine of whether or not, she came and got me. She had to pick me up one time and I called her and I had went and seen a friend of mine and they live like 45 miles away. And I rode my bike to go see him. As a kid, I wanted to go see my friend, right? Because we had telephones, but it's not like you could just pick up your cell phone and chat. I rode 40 miles to see my friend and I called her and I said, "I need you to pick me up." She's like, "Okay, where are you at?" And I told her, she was like, "You're where?" "You rode your bike there?" I'm like, "Yeah, I wanted to see him." It was like, "Oh my God. Okay." So, she showed up and obviously we got home well after dark. But we played, I would go out in the woods and I would,
Yep.
look at rocks, or we'd go walk the train tracks and, those little pebbles, the round pebbles.
Sure.
Somebody remembers what they're called. I can never remember what they're called. But we used to go collect those and use them for our wrist rockets, right? We would go out to,
Oh, the iron ore pellets.
yeah, yeah. And so
Yeah.
we would go do all that stuff and go check that out. And, we had fields and we would go take, okay, David Carlisle, thanks for hanging out with me today. I
Or if it was a
appreciate
rainy
it.
day, you'd make a new wrist rocket.
Have you seen the little wrist rockets that have the little like bow and arrow?
Oh, I just used to make them out of like little bar steel that we'd have around.
Yeah, yeah. And so
And
but we
yeah.
did all sorts of stupid stuff. We always did stuff that, looking back at it now, it's like, man, I'm lucky
Oh,
I'm
but
lucky
here
we
you go.
didn't
You could
die.
be trusted with a wrist rocket. If something happened, it was truly an accident. Now, if you gave your kids wrist rockets, they'd be shooting each other.
We shot each other too. We just didn't pull it back all the
Yeah,
way.
but you didn't like shoot each other like I'm speaking of. You
Yeah,
would put targets on trees. You would try
yeah,
to shoot
yeah, yeah.
squirrels. You would try, you know, uh,
We would go hunt ducks and pheasants with our wrist rockets.
yeah. Uh,
Every once in a
and
while, we'd get
now
one and bring one home.
the first thing is well, it's like Fortnite. Boom, hit my brother Joe in the neck with one first shot. I mean, before it had to evolve for 2 or 3 weeks before we started shooting each other.
Well, we used to do dumb things. And so,
All kids
looking
do that.
back at it, but you couldn't do the stuff we did as a kid now.
No, you couldn't.
You just could
Absolutely
not.
not.
Yeah. Oh man, would be in so much trouble.
I mean, I
Like
can
it'd be
remember
horrible.
garbage picking lawnmowers and making mini bikes and all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, I'm losing
And
everybody on the other side. They're all taking off. It's
well,
all
they're
good, folks. I know we're just chit chatting. You don't want to hear about my life story. We would ride our bikes across the Mississippi rivers to buy fireworks. Yeah, it was a different world, right? We would do different stuff back in that day.
yeah.
All is back.
Sorry
All
about
right.
that.
That's okay. Did you get
Back
your
to the
coffee?
coins. Anybody get any
No,
cool coins lately?
what?
Anybody get any cool coins lately?
No,
No, but
No?
you know what's really cool?
I got
What
some elongates.
One of my favorite coins just sold for $1 million plus.
Uh-oh.
What,
Which one?
Stella?
The Stella.
I thought it went for like 900 something thousand.
That's $1 million.
That.
Close
Well,
enough.
the total number, I think, well, that might have been after fees.
Oh,
I thought it was like 1.13 or something like that. But that might have
well,
included
our
the
mirror
fees.
rockets went for $31,200.
That's a cool story.
I can't believe it went for that much.
Yeah, that's cool.
right.
What's up,
But hey,
Gary?
that's what true value is what somebody's willing to pay for it. And obviously somebody wanted it.
There are a lot of big time steel scent error collectors out there, man, and that's a doozy.
Yeah.
It's a doozy.
But what did
Yeah.
I get this week?
But just about everything in that auction that night went for
It went high.
incredible prices.
It did. It was all high.
Yeah, it was. There were a few items that didn't make reserve, but other than that, everything went like crazy high. So they had some heavy hitters.
I had somebody give me a nickel that is a bar ERT.
Really?
Yeah,
Who?
bar 6, 63D bar 6.
Do you have it?
I do.
Show it, because
Is
I'm
it
not sure
listed?
what you're saying.
Is it
I
listed?
I used to look for these a long time ago, and I think I ended up just kind of saying, they're nothing.
They're
And
just
now
little
there's
die,
actually
they're just
listings for 'em.
little die chips, little die breaks.
Let me see here. It's cool. It was Tyler gave me this.
Oh, nice.
That's cool. So real quick, I want to ask everybody who's actually
on the
here, both in
6.
chat. Give me just a second, Eric. So everybody who's watching, I have changed my format a little bit on the StreamYard side for the vertical and the landscape. Do you guys like the format that's there? Now I know that some of the people left from the portrait side to come over. Some people are kind of bouncing back and forth. Do you guys like this format? Do you guys like the way that I do the panels? It's a little bit cleaner. It's a little bit clearer. I've got the items down below me that show who's done what, the subscription count. Do you guys like this structure? Do you guys like this setup? Does it benefit you guys? Or do you want me to do something different? Because I'm really trying to improve the channel for you all. And now that I have some people, I want to get you guys' feedback.
There, that's something interesting. That's what's called a bar variety. It's actually a bar error.
So what we're looking at is right here.
Right above the ERT in Liberty.
Okay.
Little die
And I
chip.
think there is some of these listed on Variety Vista.
There is. There's an entire, hang on, let me go pull it up. There are Jefferson nickel bar errors. Hang on, copy.
Yes, I think Siren's the only one watching who's a subscriber on the other side. Perplexed comes in, it should jump up. There's actually more. I think that's the number of subscribers who were in. It doesn't show, that count doesn't show non-subscribers. That YouTube count, it only shows the subscribers who were in the portrait side. If you're not a subscriber, it doesn't show up in there. I need to change that to where it's in the vertical side. There should be a way to do two different ones, and I need to coordinate that, but I don't know how to do that yet.
This
I will
is
get there.
bar ERT6. It is actually listed.
So these are just it's just a die chip.
Just little, just die chips above the letters, and they,
And then there's one above the 6 right there.
They have found out that people like them and enjoy collecting them. I have opinions about it, but I won't. You know, like what you like, collect what you like.
I agree.
Yeah.
There's people that collect machine doubling, and I see no use in it unless it's like something super duper. Like I've seen it where it's so bad that basically all the numbers of the date are gone.
So I have a quarter
I
that's
have
like
opinions.
that.
I think that part of the cause of these is some type of misalignment, some catastrophic damage to that area of the die.
And then he sent me that, which is RPM number 2.
Nice. That's not an easy one to see right there, folks. Because did it take a little hit or something?
No, it's just like that. It's a little later die state than what he's got listed.
So the punch.
But you can see it. I don't know. You can see it right here. Is where
I see that. That's the only thing.
And then down here you can see it again. But like up here, even in his listing, it's like that, but not as bad. This is a little bit later die state than he's got listed.
Yeah.
Perplexed Mind, you have a great Easter, bud. I hope you're doing well. Enjoy your time if you're going to be with family or the kiddos. I hope you have a wonderful day. Thanks for coming in. I appreciate you.
I just opened those up today. Nice. So it's pretty cool. Gift from Tyler.
Hey, Tiger Stacker just gifted 5 memberships. Tiger Stacker, outstanding. Thank you so much. So those went to AZ Coins, J Dud, Wolf Metal Stacking, West Texas Stacker. Outstanding. West Texas is having a good day. He won the GOT earlier. And then we got Rockzilla. So congratulations. Please make sure you all say thank you to Tiger Stacker for doing that. That's absolutely awesome. Thank you.
I did get this too. I just opened in the package. Mail. Yeah.
They're having a rough time in there. If you guys hear that, my little granddaughter does not want them putting drops in her eyes.
Being a kid and having stuff like that's got to be horrible. 1919 S over S, northwest.
North. Actually, south.
Oh, so there's a south
RPM
there
number
too.
one.
I can't.
South.
Can you
Right.
turn your light up a little bit? Can't see that very well on my
You
end.
know what? I'm going to do this. I'm
I
going to
think
take it out of.
I think we both saw that little damage to the north
Yes,
of that.
I'm
perplexed.
going to take it out.
This is
of,
live. I didn't even see that. No, if you were on, that happened on the other side.
I still sent
Hold on just a second. Let me do this.
There it is.
Bam. Okay, so you know what I just did? So Tiger just gifted 5 memberships on the other side. So I just gifted 5 memberships on the side that was portrait mode.
Shows better this way.
So
Oh.
there you go. So who got those? Roseanne, Matt T, 7 Stacks, James Schultz, and Michael Stacking. You guys just got, your chat was way behind. Oh, I got you. All right. So I just gifted 5 memberships to the other side to match Tiger's generous donation. So thank you, Tiger. I appreciate that, bud. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, there it is right there.
Oh, and by the way, hold on just a sec. If you guys aren't a member over at Tiger Stacker, you're not subscribed to Tiger Stacker, go check out Tiger Stacker. Him and I are going to be doing a really cool project on a highly, highly, highly collectible silver bar. It's a great story, a lot of mystery, a lot of stuff. Go check him out. You're going to have to see that. We'll be seeing that here in a little while. Cool stuff. All right. Sorry about that, Eric. So what do we got?
No, 1919 RPM number one. I bought it off of Facebook. It's like the first coin I bought off of Facebook.
Okay, so now I can see that down at the bottom a little bit better. Before it looked like it was up over at the top.
Yeah, it depends on how the lighting is.
Yeah. That's nice.
This needs to go in the 7th edition, volume 1 of the Cherry Pickers Guide. I'm putting my vote in right now. There are so many varieties that need to go in there.
Yeah.
I hope that they do a better job.
Frosty, how do I turn that on? Perplexed. I need a little bit more clarification to that. You know what? Tiger Stacker's thing didn't show up. I need to figure out how that works too. Okay, I got to figure that out. How do I turn what on? How do I turn on that gift thing? Are you talking about how to get memberships, or do you want to turn on gifting? You want to become a member? I need a little bit clarification on what you're trying to ask. Because there's something that you need to do. So if you go to the membership, like if you go click on up at the top, you'll see the gift membership. If you click on that, it should say something like enable gifting, and then you have to opt into that. Yeah, so you should be able to click on that little gift thing, and then there should be a little 3-dot button that should say something like allow gift memberships or something. If it's turned on, then you won't see it. But if you want one, I don't know if I can direct. I don't know if I can send a gift directly to a person. Can you? Can you give somebody?
Think so.
I don't think I can give somebody specifically. It's pretty random. I'll have to check Perplex Mind. I think it's pretty much, it's pulled randomly. So I don't think, how does he get a gift? Yeah, you don't get a signed one. It just comes random. Yeah.
I do think though that if you're not a member and you buy memberships, it gives you one first. Because somehow I get a membership all the time.
I don't know. No, I don't want to gift. Oh, you want to become a member? Well, if you want to become a member, down at the very bottom, you should see a little square that looks like a $sign. If you click on the little square with the $sign, it'll come up. Now, if you're on your phone and you're on an Apple device, you may not see it because sometimes they disable that. But if you do, you'd be able to go in and just click on that and you'd be able to click on one. Okay. He's like, no, no, no. I know it's random. Not a big deal. Just email me, Perplexed. We'll figure out what you're asking for and we'll get there. Yeah. If you want to gift one, it's going to be that little dollar thing down in the corner. I've got to see what it's like if you're on your phone, because sometimes, like when I'm on my phone, I can't gift a membership because it removes it. I think it's an Apple thing. So if I'm going to do that, I can't use the app. I actually have to go through Safari or whatever and then do it through there. Or I just go utilize the computer. And if I'm going to be streaming, then I'm going to be on the computer. Oh no, you're not keeping me from my show. So here's the thing about questions. The only dumb question is the one not asked. And odds are, if you ask a question, there are other people in chat that have the exact same one. So never, ever, 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 anybody ever feel bad about asking me a question. Okay, just that's not a problem. Go ahead, Eric. Go ahead and show it.
Anxious doesn't see how this is an RPM. Here is another S right here.
Yep.
South, and then it comes up, and then you can see the upper loop come right here. So that's the RPM right there.
Repunched mint mark.
It is, yeah, a repunched mint mark. So when they were having a little punch, everybody's hopefully familiar with what a little letter punch looks like. It's a little bar of steel with like a typewriter end on the end of it.
Yeah, like one of those leather, like the leather punches or something that you can buy. The metal punches.
And when they stamped it, they obviously either put this in first and didn't like where it was at, or there could be a million. It could just be chatter where he hit it and then it bounced up and bounced back into the die. But there's a lot of reasons why it happens, but it happens.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason that it's significant is they're all put in by hand. Well, let's see. I can turn it up. Let's see if I can get the lighting better on it. Let me move it.
There you go.
So Coin Crew actually is streaming right now.
Polymailers.
So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up here in just a second because
Okay.
I didn't realize that they were streaming.
No,
They
so
didn't have one
one.
scheduled there. That might show it a little bit better.
Yeah.
So you see the S right there. It's actually a pretty significant.
All right, everybody, have a blessed day. Happy Easter. Have a great day and have a good week next week. Bye, Frostbyte. Bye, Eric.
Thanks for coming up. Happy Easter.
There, how's that? That better for you guys?
Oh yeah, that looks much, much better. Yeah, that's much cleaner. You can see that much clearer on the YouTube side. So you can see underneath there. So right here, if you can see my mouse, you can see that right there. Yeah, they changed their mind. We'll wrap up here in just a few minutes. Yeah. Do this. Here, let me do this. There you go, Perplexed. Just send me an email and then I'll respond to it. We'll make sure that things are taken care of. But yeah, you can see his hand. Can you see that little itty bitty hand there? And Eric can show you where that's at. You can see it kind of in that lower first turn on that upper portion of the S.
Yeah, you see the little thing right here too.
Yep. Actually, a really nice one. So Perplexed, your keyboard sucks. Well, my fingers suck. I can't type, so don't feel bad.
That's my problem. But anyways, we're wrapping this up. I want to tell everybody to have a great holiday, and we'll see you all soon.
All right, we'll see you later. Appreciate you being here, Eric. Thank you so much for being here. All right, ladies and gentlemen, well, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. If I can have my moderators do me a favor, throw Coin Crew's link down below. As a matter of fact, I have it up here, so let me do this. Let's throw that here, and we'll throw that here. If you want to go check out Coin Crew, they got something going on right now will go ahead and pop up over there. Please do me a favor. Okay, if you're watching this and you haven't already done so, hit that subscribe button. I really only need 3 to get to 1,700. I'd like to do that by the end of the day. But you're going to be seeing information from me, and that's Frosty's 2K by the 1st of May. I'm really going to be working hard to getting to that 2K mark here in the next 30 days. So again, you're going to be seeing some live pop-ups from me, information that's coming out. I've got some really cool videos that are going to be coming out. So please make sure you stay tuned to some of those things. I also want feedback on the structure, on the general setup. I want to talk about, do you guys like the multi-stream? Do you like this format? Do you like this layout? Do you like the vertical format? Does it work for you? I want to make sure that you're seeing what you want to see. I want to make sure that you have a good picture, a good image. And when I'm doing it by myself, this is a nice, clean, clear picture. It's nice, bright, and big. I may end up doing stuff like this more frequently during the week to make sure that, we get people engaged and whatnot. But please do me a favor. If you're new, hit that subscribe button, hit that like, and I will see you guys here in just a few minutes over at Coin Crew. Be well, be blessed, and ladies and gentlemen, I will